Hey traders, welcome back to the channel. So I'm back with another update video, and before we start the video, make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button as it helps me with the algorithm and motivates me to continue doing what I'm doing. So before we talk about the fundamentals today, I want to talk about the technicals. As most of you know that I'm a fundamental and technical trend trader, and I love to talk about fundamentals, but right now there are some things which might be changing going into the end of the year. Also, this is going to be an important week because of the Fed, and we got some important data out of the US and the Europe side today also. So we will talk about them, but first I want to show you something on the technical side on gold, and we will try to understand what the technicals are trying to show us. So I will just zoom into I will just like make it up bigger, and we will go on the daily time frame to understand the price action better and what maybe the price action is showing us. So if we go in the past a little bit and we try to see what we were seeing here, we were seeing a continuous uptrend in gold. What we were seeing, we created highs, we broke the highs, we created new highs, we again created new highs, and what I mean by saying this is that we continue to make new higher highs. But right now what we witnessed in gold is that we have failed to create new highs, and we have created some equal highs. Now what this tells you, what is this indicating, and what is possibly coming in gold going into the end of the year? Talking a little bit more about technicals in details, let's see what we saw in the previous few weeks. So we saw sellers taking control, and then we saw buyers taking back control again. We saw sellers step back in, and then we saw some consolidation, and then we saw buyers taking back control again. But in the ending of the last week, what we saw that the sellers stepped back in at this important zone, and they actually moved the prices lower and almost removed all the gains which gold caught in a whole week. They removed all of them in just 2 days. So what this tells you, this tells you that the buyers are maybe still present in the market, but they are not that strong as they were in this period of time. Okay, the sellers are present in the market, and they are maybe strong enough to keep pushing the buyers backwards. So this is what I want to talk about, and due to this we can understand that the sentiment is maybe shifting right now due to some reasons, which may be the geopolitical tensions are not that much on the peak right now, or the rate cuts are not expected to be cut at a larger pace going into the 2025, as the inflation is still on the rise and the economy still stands so strong. I'm talking about the US economy. So this is what price action is telling you. The price action is telling you that maybe the buyers are not strong enough, and the sellers are stepping back and back and back, and they are pushing gold down, and maybe they can continue to do that till the end of the year if we saw some hawkish comments from the Fed. So this is what the technical price action technical chart is showing you. Now we got some important data today out of the US and out of the Europe, and let's just have a look on it that what we got. So and then we will talk a little bit about what I am looking at gold and what's my plan going into the important week. So we got some data, and to be very honest, the data out of the US and out of the Europe from the both sides was quite mixed. So the manufacturing PMI for the Europe, it was below expectations, not a good data, and the services PMI we saw a beat there, so a good data. Now going over for the German manufacturing PMI, again the manufacturing PMI came out below expectations, and the flash services PMI came out above expectations. Now going for the GBP, the pound, if we go here and manufacturing PMI, again we saw a miss, and for the services PMI we saw a beat. Now again the same thing happened in the US too. So this holds the most weight for gold. So talking about this mainly, the manufacturing PMI we saw a miss here, but they revised the previous number higher. So this is kind of a mixed thing. But talking about the services PMI, the services PMI saw a beat. Now in the US economy and for gold mainly, the services PMI out of the US is the most important. Why? Because the gold is mainly traded against the dollars, and again another thing, the US economy is mainly dependent on its services sector. So what we can see from this data that the services sector is performing well for now, which is a negative thing for gold. Now talking about the some of the upcoming data which we will be getting tomorrow, and obviously there's going to be a lot of data going into this week. So talking about what we are getting tomorrow is the retail sales. Okay, so the retail sales is again going to be important, as it will be telling us that what the consumer is doing, if he's able to buy or things, stuff or not. And if we see the US economy, which is still standing strong, then I think that this core retail sales data is going to beat the expectations, or at least it will meet the expectations, which will be again a positive thing for the US economy. Never mind, it's a speculation, it's expectations, it's a well estimated guess, and I can be dead wrong on it. Now moving on to gold, and basing on the data which we have seen currently, what is it telling us? So the data is mainly telling us that the US economy is still standing strong. We have there's still some data due to come, but the data which has already came out, we can see that the US economy is still standing strong. The inflation is still not going downside, it's just you can say it's just sticky. Okay, not that rising at a larger pace, but still it's sticky. So it's not a good story for gold, as if inflation is sticky, the rates can be held higher for longer. And this is the what the data showing us. And past week, in the past month, we had some Fed speakers, and they were signaling some hawkish comments. They were saying that maybe we will get a cut in December, and a rate cut is in December is actually widely expected. But at the same time, they were saying that going into 2025, we may slow the pace of rate cuts, which is a negative thing for gold. Another thing, the geopolitical tensions, the Syria situation, all the things look to have been faded out for the time being. They are not here, or they are not that strong enough to continue to push gold on the higher levels. So this is what the price action tells us, or the fundamentals or the sentiment is telling us. So the conclusion of this, that the sentiment tells us that the gold is slightly in a bearish bias right now. Now what I am expecting on a price action basis, and what I will like gold to do on a price action basis, if we stay bearish on gold, if Powell's come out, let's say on Wednesday, whenever the meeting is, and he says that we are going the inflation is not slowing down, the labor market is still strong, the economy is still strong, and we will uh, continue to hold rates higher for longer, then if the scenario something like this happens, then obviously I will remain a bear on gold. So what I will be looking for on a technical basis on gold, I am actually waiting for this area. So this is a zone on the 4-hour time frame. I will show it to you. I will be waiting for a retest of this area. If we get it, then I will be waiting for some swing sells at this area. And let's say we don't come to retest this area, then and we continue to move on the downside from this area, then I will be looking for a break of this area. And if we get it again, I will be looking for some pullbacks, and then I will look for continuation of sells. Now moving on to the 4-hour time frame, so you can see things a little more uh, clearly. Just give me a second. 4 hour, okay. So moving on to the 4-hour time frame, what we can see and what the price action is telling us on a smaller time frame basis, the price action is see, we saw a upward move in gold early morning. Okay, but with the US data, with the strong US data which we saw today, the gold gave back almost all of its gain in just one candle. So what this tells you, it tells you that the sellers are quite strong enough than the buyers at the current time. So what I will be looking for, if the US data continues to surprise us, continues to beat the expectations, then I will be looking for a retest of this area. Okay, so this is the zone, this is the supply zone. You can see, okay, so this is the supply zone, and this area 2675 is a intraday liquidity area. So I will be waiting for a retest around this area, and then if I get it, I will be looking for some swing sells at this area. So this is my technical plan, and this is my game plan for the week, for the whole week. Okay, if we continue to get some bearish views on gold. So this was pretty much it for this video. And if you're not in my Telegram channel, then I will drop the link in description. We have a free Telegram channel, and going into the FOMC, going into this week, going into the end of the year, I will be dropping tons of analysis there, as this is a very important week. So I will be dropping tons of analysis there, and it will provide you value. So if you are not there, then I will drop a link in description. You can join if you want to. Also make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button. So yeah, this was pretty much it. Happy trading and best of luck for your trading week.